D-Man here.
Yes,
Just telling you,
yes.
I hope you like this video.
Do this.
So let's get in
Let the video.
to the video.
Bye bye.
Enjoy.
Okay, guys. Hey, D-Man here, doing another movie review. This time, a really old movie, a 1984 movie to be exact. Um, the never-ending story this time, and I gotta say, I haven't watched it since I was a kid, and it sort of holds up, but it doesn't really hold up at the same time. So, this movie, when I was a kid, I used to love this movie. To be honest, I used to watch it a lot, and I also used to love what was it called? The crystal something, or trying to get the crystal something. I forgot what it was called. I saw a picture of it here somewhere. Where'd that picture go? There, I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. See this one? The dark crystal. The dark crystal. So this used to be my favorite movie, to be honest. The Dark Crystal, and I might watch that again and do a movie review on it. But I'm not gonna do it now. But this used to be my favorite movie, and now when I look back at the pictures of it and stuff, because I haven't watched it in a long time, these things used to be creepy as hell. Like all these dolls. These things are creepy as hell. But no, I watched the NeverEnding Story today with my niece and nephew because I wanted them to watch it. Uh, and I gotta say, it was better when I was a kid. So this movie is all about a boy who reads a book called Fantasia, I think it was, or something like that, or maybe it was the NeverEnding Story. I'm not sure what the book was called. Oh, it's right here. The NeverEnding Story. So yeah, it's called The NeverEnding Story. It's about Fantasia. Fantasia is basically like man's memory, I guess. There's a adversary for uh, the like accomplice for the nothingness. So the movie. Okay, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go into spoilers right away. By the way, because this movie's old, and if you haven't watched it, go watch it before I go into spoilers. I'll do a review. I'll do like a rating real quick. If I would rate this 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 5 being average, 10 being the best, I'd have to rate this movie. I would still say a 7. Back when I was a kid, I'd probably say like a 9 or a 10. But nowadays, I'd say a 7 because it's still pretty good. It just doesn't hold up as good as it used to. And there's some creepy parts in there too. But anyways, spoilers. So this movie is about Atreus. I think his name is Atreus. Atreus, or was that the horse's name? It's really hard to remember the guy's name. But the main character is this kid right here, and also this kid right here. He reads the book. He goes throughout the book. This kid right here goes throughout the book. He's the warrior, the journeyer that's gonna save Fantasia. I think it's called Fantasia from the great nothingness. And this is the nothingness ally, the great evil guy, because he says that when people lose their will to work and stuff, lose their will to dream and stuff, they're easier to control, which is stupid because the nothingness is gonna kill him too. But whatever, I guess that's a plot point in the movie that never gets solved. I think this is from the second one. I'm not gonna watch the second one. I did not want to watch the second NeverEnding Story. I never did, and I'm never going to. It sounds like other garbage. But no, it's actually like a fairly good story. It has this cheesy ending where he is the savior of it because he has to give the empress a name, and he gives the empress his mother's name because his mother died. So he gives her his mother's name, and she's like, "Yay! Now the Fantasia is gonna come back to life, and Everybody's back to life, including Artex. That's his horse. Artex is his horse. What the hell is his name? What the hell is his name? Artex and Atreyu, I think his name is Atreyu. So Artex and Atreyu, uh, the horse, right here, see? Artex is the horse and Atreyu is the boy. They go on this epic journey that this kid is reading, and they have to save Fantasia from the nothingness that's consuming it. And he figures out how to save it by bringing a human child to name the empress. But the human child doesn't know how to name the empress because he doesn't know that he's that important yet. And he has to have dreams because the never-ending story is basically the imagination world. And if you don't have dreams, imagination's gonna go away. So it's pretty funny. Um, Pretty cool. Uh, let's say about the things I like about this movie. Okay. The story, it still holds up. It's not as good as I used to thought it was. When I was a kid, I thought it was a cool story. But it still like holds up to be an okay story. If you're a kid, you'd probably still think it's good. Um, Most of the creatures in this hold up to a certain extent. Like the giant turtle looks really cool. It holds up. Even it looks better than some of the stuff nowadays. The giant wolf looks really cool. It holds up. Uh, Looks cooler than some of the stuff nowadays that are CGI because it's like a giant puppet. Uh, a little bit wrong with the mouth movement when it's speaking though, but that's I guess that's a little bit weird. But that's something that you can overlook. But it looks really cool, like this giant wolf thing right here, right here. Giant wolf guy right here. He looks really cool, actually. Um, the snail, the bat, they still hold up. They still look pretty cool. uh, and like the rock people at the beginning, there's like a beginning shot where there's a bunch of people standing around. There's like a rock people and stuff. These guys are like little elves that live in a mountain, and Artex is bigger than them, and it looks pretty cool when they're interacting and stuff like that. So it looks pretty cool. So yeah, like some of the stuff held up really good, and it looked really cool still. And the story is okay. Now that I'm adult, it's a little bit worse, but it's okay. So what didn't hold up? Um, Falcor, the giant dragon dog, looked like a toy body, uh, with a sort of lifelike head, because his body barely moved. So it didn't really hold up that good. Falcor didn't really hold up that good. And he was a little bit creepy in the movie, by the way. Even my niece and nephew asked me if he was like evil because of the way he talked and looked and stuff. And I was like, no, he's one of the good guys. But they thought he was evil because he was like, oh, blah, and his tongue would stick out, awkward moments. The dubbing was a little bit weird on this. Like the voice was like not matched to the mouth half the time, and he was a little bit creepy to be honest. The scene with him was a little bit creepy. So he didn't hold up that well. Um, and the when he was flying around and stuff, the green screen, I would assume that's what it is. I assume that's a green screen. Horrible. It just looks horrible. But I can deal with it because it is from 1984, so you can deal with it, I guess. All in all, though, it's a pretty good movie still. I do enjoy it still. Uh, Artex's horse dies. When I was a kid, I thought that was like one of the saddest things, but now that I rewatched it, it happened so fast that we barely get to know like the relationship between them, and it's not actually sad at all. Like when I was a kid, I thought that was super sad, but I rewatched it, and I was like, that's kind of lackluster. We barely know the horse and their relationship. It's just like, oh, his horse died. Okay, that happened. So it's not very sad. Um, nothing in this movie is really like sad or anything. It's just meh. But it's still a good movie, I guess. It's still okay. It's good, not bad. And I would suggest watching it if you have the time, if you want to watch it. Definitely watch it. You can find it on YouTube, but you have to pay for it, unless you probably have YouTube Red or something like that. I think YouTube Red would probably let you watch it for free or something like that. You can probably just look it up online and find it for free, to be honest. But yeah, you can watch it. It's a pretty good movie. If you never watched it before, I suggest watching it. It's a pretty good movie. Although some of the effects doesn't last, and plus, it's kind of weird thing. But yeah, it's pretty good. And the ending part, man. If I was Artex, no, that's the horse again. I forgot his name. If I was the kid, I'd probably punch the empress in the face because she's a total bitch. She's not a bitch because she's a kid. But like, she's like, oh, but you had to go into that journey to make this kid realize he was part of the story. And he's just like, my fucking horse died and shit. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And this is her. She's just like, oh well, it was good because that kid realized he was part of the story. So thanks. It's just like, oh man, I'd punch her in the face if I was that kid. I'm like, you're a bitch. That would be the shittiest ending I ever got. But in the end, he comes back to life. His horse comes back to life and stuff, and then nothingness is gone. So it's actually pretty good. Uh, all in all, a 7, as I said. Hope you liked this review. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. As always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Hey guys, D-Man here. Just remind you to subscribe by clicking here. It works on mobile. Or click
Watch
here
video.
to watch my last video. It also works on mobile. Just remember, subscribe and stuff.
Subscribe and stuff.
Alright, bye-bye.
Peace. Stay sane.